I know we muted. Relax. Happy Monday, August 8th. It's hot out here in New York. Got off that plane. It was scorching.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Just in case you thought you wasn't going to see us, think again. Consistency is what we preach. We must practice it at a very high level. Everything is going to be at a high level. Let's let the team in. Earners, what's going on? Shout out to y'all for showing up, showing out.
What's up? Shout out to everybody that was at InvestFest. Legendary.
Wait, there's something going on this weekend? How was your weekend, man?
Legendary, man. Y'all know all of
Oh, man. What a weekend.
Y'all know all the vibes, man.
What a weekend.
It was nothing short of legendary. We did what we had to do. Shout out to everybody that came out. We'll talk about that later on. But yeah, man. A whole lot of good energy.
My brother has now entered the building.
Send a back call out. Market Mondays. Back home, back to work. Well, we never really left work, but
what's going on? What you look like on your screen? I see Jan's joint up there. Ian, what's good, bro?
How y'all doing?
Turn the lights off, though.
The purge continues. The purge continues.
Wait. The leather jacket is here.
The purge.
Hey, man.
We got a Basquiat behind us?
Bad information.
We got the Basquiat going on behind you? If you know, you know. This guy, high level. What's going on, man?
Man, I'm good. How you guys feeling?
I feel good, man. I feel good.
Feel blessed, man. A little tired, but the show must go on, man.
To be expected.
Show must go on. So first and foremost, congratulations on a legendary performance.
Thank you.
Everybody's.
Can we put some fire in chat for him?
Please.
Put a fire in chat.
Please. Shout out to everybody in the rebellion. I'll get to it in the announcements, but
hey, my pops was talking about it this morning. When I called him, he was talking about you. When we got on the plane, he was talking about you. He was excited about Market Mondays today. So congratulations to you, my brother. And my son got a mask, man. He part of the rebellion.
Oh, that's my boy. Come on, man. Man, I got gifts for you next time I see you. I love you, man. Yeah. It was a great weekend.
My sister was telling me that my niece, she saw you. She was like, "Is that the real Ian?"
I was so honored. Shout out to the queen, man. Gave her a hug. Was high fiving and talking. Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
It's him in real life.
Yeah. So if you don't know, if you've been under a rock for the last year, InvestFest just happened in Atlanta, Georgia, and it was extremely legendary. Over 12,000 people were there. We had, vendor marketplace. We had food trucks. We had musical performances. Ian Dunlap, keynote address, 19 Keys, high-level conversation, Wall Street Trapper with Josh Brown. Shout out to my brother Rick Ross. Let us perform on his set. Very legendary moment.
Bro.
Don't talk about that.
Bro. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? In all fairness, that song is a duet. There's two people rapping on that. So I don't want y'all to stop in the comments. Yeah. I see y'all.
Yeah.
There's two people on there. He was doing Drake's part.
I did Drake's part.
I was doing Ross's part.
Shout out to Ross, though, man. Shout out to T.I. Shout out to Dame. Man, keep going on and on, man.
Shout out to the women's panel. Shout out to Kiana.
Milano.
Angela Yee. Pinky.
Pinky killed it.
Whoa.
Shout out to Steve Harvey. Shout out to Tyler Perry. Very important.
Yeah.
Very important. Very high level conversation.
Steve put on the show, man.
Yes. No, he did. He came.
Steve always going.
He came on a different type of time.
He never going to disappoint, man. He's been doing this for 30 years.
Shout out to Dan Cathy. Dan Cathy. I got a story. We're gonna get into that later.
Dan
but
Cathy
shout out
gave
to him.
a lot of gems.
Wow.
A lot of gems. And shout out to Dave Shansman for doing a great job.
Spoke to our soul. Shout out to him.
Man, I keep going on.
And your pops. We can't do that.
Yeah,
no.
Sure.
Yeah.
I saw
shout out to your pops. He's
so
cool.
He landed at the airport today. I said, listen, I'm going to be your new booking agent after this. There's no going back. You're on the road now. You got to take this on the road. He went all the way to a different level of information, man. I was happy to see it. I mean, we take it for granted because it's around us all the time, but a wealth of information. I'm glad that he got to shine like that. We were in the sprinter on the way there, and he was just looked at me and he said, 40 years I've been waiting for this type of moment, and I'm so happy that y'all are at the forefront of it. And he delivered at a high level. So shout out to Mr. Bilal.
That's dope. And he's suave, real cool. Like, yeah. He amazing, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. It was fun.
So yeah, man, I can keep going on and on. We'll talk about it later on, I'm sure. But shout out to everybody that made InvestFest happen. Shout out to everybody that came to InvestFest. Definitely.
We gotta pick the energy up like InvestFest was that though. 12,000 people. Let's get to it.
No, we going no. It's over 12. We're just gonna say over 12.
Troy said my numbers was a little low.
It was. I'm gonna be honest with you because
it felt like it was over 12,000.
Definitely over 12. I felt like there was maybe been 12 in the room, probably 12.5. And then the marketplace still had about maybe 1,000. And then shout out to the Vibranium stage. Everybody that was on that Vibranium stage lit that stage up. When I walked in there, I walked in a few times. One, unsuspected people didn't know I was in there. One time I sat right in the front, and it was standing room. And I was just blown away by it. But it's the information. Like, people who came for information. It didn't matter what room it was. They were like, if that's where it's at, I'm going to it and I'm gonna take notes. And people were walking around with notepads and you know, they're like, can you sign my notes that I took? I was just like, yo, this is really different. This is really a moment in history. So like the only word I try to think like one, I couldn't even post anything. I just got off the phone with B, shout out to 13th and grade. And I was like, I didn't even look at any pictures. I didn't post anything because I was really just trying to like be present in it. Yeah. And the only thing I could think of was historic. It's the only word that kept coming back. Like, this is a historic moment. So shout out to everybody that got to be part of that history. It's gonna live on forever, man. And we're gonna keep going. So we're gonna create more moments. But this is special. This is special.
One of them ones, man. One of them ones for sure. If you didn't make InvestFest, next time there will be opportunities. But let's get into this. We got some information to give out today. We're gonna be having a dope show. It's been a while since we were be able to communicate with the people via the Zoom. So we'll be answering some questions and just having some fun with it. Like I said, a lot of people thought that we may not be on tonight because
not missing the show.
It was a very grueling 3 days, but show must go on. Show must go on. So EYL big week. We have international episode. Shout out to London Ahmed. He's coming out tomorrow. So this is the guy's interesting. So he has what's called the Netflix for dogs. So it's interesting. He created this huge multi-million-dollar company where they play videos to entertain your dog. I had no idea how big this was, but it
market for everything.
And it makes complete sense because I forgot how many millions of dogs are domesticated, but well over hundreds of millions of dogs are domesticated. And it's like for dog owners, if you know anybody that has a dog, people treat their dogs like their kids. Like, people love their dog. They'll die for their dogs. So they get their dogs, manicures, they get their dogs groomed. But you need to have something for your dog to do too. It's like babysitting when you're not around. So this guy, he's created a platform where they actually have sounds. Like the crazy thing is the number one like YouTube video, like podcasts and stuff, like on YouTube, are like rain sounds. Yeah. It's just like sounds of just the rain, like hundreds of millions of views on YouTube for people that can't sleep, for people that just want tranquility. And it's just rain. When I found that out, that blew my mind. So what he does is he's created sounds for dogs to be in a calm state, but he also has created video content for them as well. So it's like this video, long form video content to keep dogs watching TV. Yeah. And then there's audio content to keep dogs listening and occupied when nobody's around.
It's the illest thing. Like, even like he had to study, you'll hear it in the episode, but how he studied and came up with the technique and the colors, right? Because it's not made for the human eye. Although we can watch it, it's really made for your pet to watch it. And so it's Petflix, really, right? He's created something that is very unique for a very specific, I wouldn't even say demographic, but audience, which are your cats and your dogs. So, yeah. I mean, just when you think like, hey, what business idea can I think of? Here goes another one.
Shout out to 19 Keys on the super chat check.
Shout out to my guy. I love you dearly, my bro. I'm gonna get to it, but yes, thank you so much. Amazing performance. And I listen to you. War suit. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, shout out to 19 Keys. His high level conversations will be available real soon. That was a dope conversation that he had with Idris Sandu, who is a genius.
Yes.
He is the brains behind all of the tech that Nipsey was introduced to and that Nipsey was pushing. That came from Idris. And now he just got money from Jay-Z's company, Marcy Ventures. And he's on his way to change the world. So they had a dope conversation at InvestFest, high level conversation, and that will be on high level conversation soon. So shout out to Idris for coming in at the last minute, and shout out to 19 Keys for doing what he does.
That's my bro. We had a great conversation as we were sitting in the audience, and I was like, yo, man, that part of my wisdom, that's fine. Like, not the part of your, like, part of my wisdom.
All right.
That dude's ill. But we got a special high level conversation on the way that we gonna put together with some familiar faces, or a familiar face from the Earn Your Leisure family. That, that's gonna blow everybody away. It's gonna blow everybody away.
Yes. Magic in the making.
They said shout out to his red suit. The suit was fire.
The suit was fire.
The suit was fire. Like, I'm gonna give him the suit was fire.
Let's not forget the drip report. Shout out to Mike B.
Bogard.
Ian came fresh every day. He had the suits on. He went back to the suits. My drip journey can be documented on Instagram. I'm still waiting for day 2 pictures. Brandon, 13th and grade, please. I need those.
Heavy edits. They got 2 terabytes to go through.
Well, let's not act like the drip wasn't a conversation started piece within itself.
Yeah,
because it was
a lot of conversations
every day.
Yeah, I told them, man, they're gonna have to see mine live in person. I'm not going to document the journey.
You have to document.
Nah, they got catching it somebody else's picture, or like
you got to keep something special.
You know, it was dope. So a couple of people asked, like, can we sign the clothes and give it away?
Yes,
that's a fire idea.
Yeah,
I was thinking about hanging up some of the pieces because they're so unique. Like, I know the leather.
After every show, we should
we should do something like that, right? Like, hang it up and like put it in a moment. Like, that Apollo moment was, I can't wear that again. It's just that's synonymous with that moment, and I feel like the shout out to the 88 Chicago Bulls. That fit yesterday was inspired by them. I feel like that now needs to be signed, and we need to put like that somewhere, like InvestFest 2022. That's it. There it goes. Yeah. Follow the drip. Follow the drip.
Follow the drip. Please don't slip. Follow the drip. Please don't slip. My drip journey has been well documented, and wait till you see what we have next.
Whoa.
Can we drop some bombs tonight? I'm feeling spicy.
Yeah, I'm trying to just get things situated with Mike on that situation.
Gotcha.
Hopefully by the end of the show we can have the website properly done.
No, I'm talking about the other bombs. City to city. Did he run the city? What we doing? Nas Esco, I need you people to hit me back. Mason Betha, I'm sorry again. Brother, hit me back.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Let's
give me my boy.
Let's let the beat build on that. That has to be rolled out. We have to have a earners, trappers, everybody who rock with 19, man. We got some bombs to drop.
Yes.
Ernest, call me. We need a press run for this next situation. It has to be rolled out. It has to be rolled out correctly. We're gonna end the year
in a big way.
Look, every time I always say, like, wait on it. They're like, yo, this guy's annoying. He's always saying, wait, why don't he just say what he's I promise you it has not disappointed yet. So every time we say, just be ready. Just be ready. When we announce something, be ready.
You think they know now?
I have no idea, but it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. We're gonna end the year with a bang, and trust me, it will be epic, monumental, revolutionary, everything that you can. Every one of those words.
Pick one.
And the rebellion will be even bigger.
Yeah. Hey, look, we had a conversation last night. They were like, look, let's just get our list together for next year. Too easy. It's gonna be crazy, man. Shout out to everybody that was in attendance again. And shout out to the good folks at Ally.
Yes.
Right? We've got a great choice if you're looking to bank or invest. Ally is a leading digital financial service company with passionate customer service and is relentlessly focused on doing it right for both customers and our communities. Ally's giving our Market Mondays viewers and listeners a special offer on ally.com/EYL so that you can save, invest, and spend on all things that matter most to you. Again, that's ally.com/EYL. For everything we need, we're all better off with an Ally. Securities, products, and services are offered through Ally Invest Securities, LLC, member of FINRA, FINRA/SIPC. Shout out to the good folks at Ally.
Disclaimer.
Yes, please, good folks, and everybody that was taking their notes yesterday, please, at some point, do your own research. It's vital. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find on our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Please, folks, do your research. If it's good research, share the research. We love you. And this is a message brought to you by the good folks at Earn Your Leisure and the good brother Ian Dunlap, the master investor himself.
Yes. Ian, any announcements?
Yes. First, I want to say to everyone who attended InvestFest and saw my presentation, thank you for the love. It means the world to me for you guys to show up, show out, take notes like crazy. I got emotional at the end. Y'all got emotional. 19 keys. Thank you. I appreciate you. Always love your hospitality, the brotherhood. And I mean it every time. I tell Keys every time I see him, like, bro, go on stage and kill everybody, including me. You're the best speaker out of all of us. Trap, thank you for your graciousness, your brotherhood, your friendship, hyping me up. Love, support, counsel, and to everybody in the Red Panda Rebellion. I appreciate the hell out of y'all. My family, friends, everybody who came to support, everyone who was with me. Dream Team, Ty, Christy, J Mac, Drew, like Lindsay, love you guys so much, Bryn. And we got a couple surprises. I ain't gonna say nothing, but I will say this: at the end of the year, we're gonna do a free trading session together. I can't drop this bomb tonight about where it's going to be, but stay tuned for end of the year. We're gonna get together and do some trading. And shout out to my guy Ish, Corey, and Brian Ford, who came through and kicked it last night too, and Frank. So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Trap. We had a great call today. Shout out to him, and shout out to MG on the check-in.
So the last thing I'll say before we start the show is, if you wasn't at InvestFest yesterday, so Ian did a special offer on sale for 48 hours. It was just for people that was at InvestFest, but we're gonna, Market Mondays is all family, so we'll extend that same offer for the end of tonight, end of tomorrow, probably, if depending on how it goes. But so it's a bundle package of 5-year access to the stock club. So you get access to the stock club for 5 years. You get 1 year access to Sniper. You get access to the Red Panda Yacht Party, VIP invite to Red Panda Yacht Party weekend. Yacht Party was a vibe. I actually went. So I can speak firsthand. It was definitely a party to remember. Ian throws good parties. You get the replay of his keynote. You get 2 hours of exclusive trading gems that were not revealed on stage to dominate in a down or up market. You get to learn how to trade without using a stop. You get a private trading session with Ian Dunlap, Red Panda members, and Ian will call out where you should get in. Review of your live trades on Stock Club. Call once a month from Ian so you know where to improve. Live trading session in person in November. Yes, 1 swing trade entry per month, and the crystal ball working for you in every market, including stocks, swing trades, crypto, and commodities.
This is gonna get you rich.
That's a lot, bro.
It's a lot.
Big value.
It's actually a lot.
Over deliver.
So, all right.
I tore the stage down to over deliver for y'all. Please put InvestFast and yes in chat. Let's spice it up.
So the website is www.ianinvest.com. It's a special site that was set up. www.ianinvest.com. Once again, www.ianinvest.com. I will pin that link. It's also in the description of this video. And if you are interested, that will run for about 24 hours.
Yeah. And Stock Club members, you'll have my presentation from this weekend, Thursday. Stock Club call tomorrow. And then if you guys want to get the presentation, I'll give you guys a special deal for that if you go to joinredpanda.com. Get this offer. 5 years is crazy. Take advantage of it.
Ian, IanInvest.com. All right. So what are the let's talk about this. Let's go to Coinbase. Coinbase stock jumps after announcing Bitcoin partnership with Blackrock.
Interesting.
Always. No, true. You can take it.
Nah, I'll start. I mean, it's kind of, it reminds me of when we talk about Jamie Dimon when he had thoughts about the cryptocurrency space and how it was ridiculous and, you know, all the negative connotations that come with it. Because Larry Fink, the chairman of BlackRock, called Bitcoin an index of money laundering just 5 years ago. And so to see that they are now announcing a partnership with BlackRock, I mean,
partnership or takeover?
Perhaps both, right? So, I mean, what does it mean for the average person or the institutional client? What it really is it's going to provide them access to cryptocurrency. It's combining the world's largest asset manager into the cryptocurrency market. I think they're only starting with Bitcoin. I mean, but it's huge news. You're talking about a firm that has 10 trillion. They manage $10 trillion in assets, stocks, bonds, and other commodities. And now you add Bitcoin to it. And it helped, obviously. I mean, Coinbase's stock went up 15%. It was trading at 92, which is something, again, like when we talk about being patient. And shout out to everybody that I had a conversation with this weekend about being patient and going through ups and downs in a company that you believed in. Yeah. About 4 weeks ago, Coinbase was trading at $43. $43. Friday, it was at 92. And so if Coinbase and cryptocurrency is something that you believed in and you found the research and you really believed in the space, obviously Coinbase being the number one platform that it's traded on, you know, that would have been a pretty solid investment at 42. But it's, again, knowing where your entries are and knowing where you want to exit. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't shock me at all. I feel like every other month there's a new institutional investment firm that's saying, okay, I know what we said before, but let's do something different.
I mean, if you speak negatively on a brand to devalue it and then buy it, it's genius. Remember when I said, hey, if Bitcoin stays around 23,000 or hits below, Michael Saylor may be in trouble. And Michael Saylor had to leave. And I know I'm not the foremost expert on crypto, but for 2 years, I've been screaming banks are going to try and take over crypto. Yes or no? Please put it in chat. So the truth is, Coinbase had a good chance of going under. BlackRock took the chance to seize the company. I think they're going to phrase it as a partnership, but I really think it's a takeover. The bounce in the stock is representative of institutional buyers knowing what the plan that BlackRock has for it, and now it's going to be a stable asset. I will say this for those of you that are invested in crypto. If you are on Coinbase, get your money off of there. Say it again. Get your money off of there. Shout out to the good team over at BlackRock. I've told you guys, there is not a market on earth that is worth trillions of dollars that the top hedge funds would not come attack. And I've been saying for years, if Vanguard and BlackRock are invested heavily into it, it gives it a higher chance of going up. This is a prime example. This is no different than like when all the Philly rappers got hot and then Jay was like, let me go to Philly and go get beans. Then Freeway came, then Chris and Neef. They just saw a market that was hot and seized it. Now they have control and interest over it when most people thought that they wouldn't. I think it's a great strategic move before investors here. Get your coins off Coinbase.
So, I mean, it's still relative when they say that the stock went up because it's at $98. But I mean,
it's still a bloodbath.
Yeah, 52-week high was $368. So it's still substantially lower than what it was. So just in Coinbase in general, what is the future for Coinbase, you think, as far as if it doesn't get acquired by BlackRock and it stays, you know, Coinbase and it stays listed on the stock market? How do we feel about Coinbase's stock long term?
All brokerages are bad to invest in. I've said it like
why is that?
But because you have no competitive edge. Like if you look over time, does the fees in a brokerage go up over time or do they go down? So if you have no fee trading, no fee transactions, you have to sell the data to somebody. But in the 1990s or late 2000s, some of us remember paying $9 or $10 for a transaction for one side of a trade.
Mm-hmm.
If that price goes down and the cost goes down, what upside do you have in the business? Now, if there's a broker that really takes care of the customer base incredibly well, creates incredible value, or even in a crypto space, if a crypto brokerage partners with a hedge fund and say, hey, we're going to partner for scale, but this is how we're going to keep you protected. There's a chance that they can do really well, but it wasn't transparent. Everyone in the crypto space was saying, we'll never partner with any bank or any hedge fund, and then sold out to all the hedge funds when things went down. And the thing that I hate is that when I was saying it earlier, people was like, well, I don't agree with it, but I'm having meetings with people in the space that are higher ups, and I'm just trying to warn us. But any asset that is incredibly valued, at some point, you're going to have a higher up come and acquire it. And if the entire market falls apart, and I was telling some of you at InvestFest, as soon as we got into the market really heavy and became passionate about it and began talking about it, and we're talking about it on this show and created a lane for people to talk about this openly, all of a sudden, every market we were interested in fell apart. You think that's by accident? And I'm not being a conspiracy theorist, but the timing is very interesting. When Wall Street bets fell apart, when GameStop fell apart, when Doge fell apart, everything that we were interested in fell apart. So please be mindful and just use the advice here that I'm giving you to make you thousands and millions of dollars for free. But no brokerage is long-term is very good to invest in unless you get it on a private equity side. When you have a lot of capital, or if you get it on the VC side very early.
So to play God's advocate in this situation, Binance has been one of the best performing cryptocurrencies for years. Mm-hmm. And I believe it's the fifth largest market cap for crypto. Mm-hmm. And it's the largest crypto exchange.
Yes.
So when you say no brokerage is good to invest in, how do you feel about Binance? And is Binance an exception to the rule, or do you think that eventually Binance won't be a good investment either?
I think Binance is an exception to the rule right now based on who they're funded by. Everyone put in chat who are the partnerships and who gave the initial funding to Binance. I said last year, you have to look at the pipeline from angel to VC, and then who in that ecosystem is having impact. I think Binance has done an incredible job, but you do have to go look at that supply chain of who has put money there. That's a huge reason why. But also, they've done a pretty solid job with their customer base, but they are an exception to the rule. Like, there may be one EV player that keeps up with Tesla. Tesla's still the preeminent leader in that space. Usually over time, if you look at every broker since 1960, every time they've become public within a 10-year span, the value of that company has been cut in half.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, right? Like, I like what you said about the hidden fee, right? When you take away these hidden fees, somebody's going to pay. That's usually going to be the customer, and they don't realize they're going to take advantage of the person who is a novice at this, right? Like the beginners who come in and say that there's no fee for trading, and there's no. At the end of the day, they're going to find a way to make money. Yeah, they sell the data, but there's going to be something inside of that, the trading instrument that they have, that's going to find a way for the brokerage to make money. And so long term, that's interesting. I have to look into that. I want to see what Binance's route to making money if they start offering such incentives.
I mean, on the investment side, from the venture side and angel side, or if you're a founder of a brokerage, one of the most profitable businesses ever. Just historically on the public side, it does not fare well. But even Coinbase, for those who got in at $20 and $30, like shout out to George and people I know who like were in Coinbase early. Great business to be in if you get it on the angel or private equity side, or the VC side. But just when you look at the history of most stocks that are brokerage based, they usually fall apart because customers are always going to want a lower fee base.
Yeah, it's kind of like the conversation we had with Vlad Tenev when we were talking about Robinhood.
Yeah,
as far as the fees that the customers don't realize that they're going to be paying for some of the trading instruments. So interesting.
Yeah.
We will monitor the situation and see.
As always.
SoftBank reports record $23 billion quarter 23 billion quarterly loss. Is this a good time to invest in SoftBank, or should we leave it alone altogether? And can you explain what SoftBank is for people that might even not even know what that even means?
Yeah, SoftBank is an investor in the tech space. This goes to show that when you don't want to be patient and wait for a great price, when I was talking to Ish this weekend, he was like, all your money is made on the real estate side. And Matt said this too. When based on when you buy the property, at what price. Same for the stock. So the issue, and we've seen it with ARK and other funds, you can't just throw capital and acquire assets in at any price and hope that things are going to work out. They just bought too high. They had a great strategy, great thesis, but they brought at the wrong prices. And now that the market is falling apart, Evergrande is having issues. There's all this contagion level events that are happening across the world, and the macroeconomic environment is really terrible right now. They're bleeding. So the number one thing I want everyone here to remember, if you're investing in a company and they're not getting in at a great price, what makes you think that your investment with them will go up? So if a company is worth $100 million and then they're making offers to buy in at the peak and they're deploying capital and burning through $2 billion in a quarter, like some company, I'm gonna be real, not the jacket time. They weren't even checking what the actual sales were. Some companies were doing 100 times sales in terms of valuation last year. This is 99 and 2000 all over again, but we have to realize that depressions and recessions are a part of a business economic cycle, because everything just always went up. There would be no time for people to go back to reassess, to go back to really good business principles and fundamentals. So
Yeah,
keep your eye on it. SoftBank, Evergrande, and I'm going to give you homework right now. Please go look at the top 10 real estate developers in China and see how much trouble they're in. If you guys remember, I brought it up last year, and people like Evergrande's not going to go under. There is no mathematical formula that will tell you if you leverage 15x or 20x that you will not go under. You have to follow solid business principles. And I know it's not fun to talk about patience, risk mitigation, risk to reward, but if you're deploying 15 times the amount of capital that you actually have in your banking reserves, it usually never ends well.
yeah. I mean, and your investments are in a specific sector, right? And so if it's only in tech, and you see what happens to the NASDAQ, it drops 32%. I mean, the quarter was only a 23 billion. Now I say only in just, but at one point they were down 50 billion. The companies that they were investing in were not profitable, right? They had startup company, like the branch that lost the most money is let me see, one sec, is the Vision Fund. So the Vision Fund is an arm of their investment strategy where it focuses on startup tech companies, which is great. And if it works, it's great. But on a downturn, when the entire sector takes a hit, you're going to take a big hit. And so if you're only basing it on their potential growth, like you said, that were inflated from 2021, obviously because interest rates were a lot lower. Once those interest rates start to go up, those profits are going to be cut very drastically. Yes. And that's what you're seeing right now. And so is it a good time to invest in them? Well, if you want to invest in companies that aren't making profit, and I'm not sure when is a good time, the strategy might need to be changed. Just from that standpoint, right? This is like we talk about, I took an L. No, you didn't take it. What are we going to learn from this? Right? $23 billion is a heavy hit.
It's a substantial hit.
It's a heavy hit on any company. So yeah, man. I mean that strategy, and I mean that goes for anybody, right? The average investor, right? And we talk about this too. Like, you don't want to have your entire portfolio in one sector.
Why not?
For this exact reason, right?
Warren Buffett says diversification is for people. What did he say?
Who don't know what they're doing, basically.
Yeah. So to play God's advocate, if diversification is for people that don't know what they're doing, why is it important to diversify?
Because most people don't listen and follow instruction. I'll say it. Ian, this is Representative Ian only, and the Red Panda Rebellion. This is not a reflection on Troy Rashad, Mike, Bam, Vince, Janet, Abdullah, right? Me. Most people won't listen. If I made you money, please put yes in chat.
Kindly.
Making money is so easy when you listen to people who do that craft for a living, and then they give it away for free for you to profit. So, like, here's a noble idea. A company should make profit in order for the stock to go up and for it to remain valuable. And a key takeaway, if people have to launch massive campaigns and tell you that this white paper is like the best thing since the 10 Commandments, and you have to go on a massive press run to promote the product's not good. As Trap will say, good dope sells itself. I've never seen Tim Cook have an army of bots spam and YouTube comments saying you need to invest in Apple. We're not going to ask you to, subscribe to our WhatsApp. And shout out to those of you who was like following the fake Telegram. That's why I always leave voice notes. Like, we are back to basic business principles. A good company will have good word of mouth. You will have good margins. You'll treat your customers well. You'll get them a real result. If you're buying a coin that you never heard of, and I'm not bashing crypto, but if Michael Saylor went under owning 80% of that company and he stepped away, what do you think is happening in the rest of the market? And Michael can actually trade. You don't think they're not talking to Goldman and JP Morgan and Citadel? And shout out to all of them. Can't wait to partner. Coming soon. The rebellion has begun. A lot of these crypto are going to sell out. And then be careful on your information. Be very careful. A lot of this is just common sense, though.
The rebellion has begun. Okay. So let's talk about this. What are top 3 lessons that you guys learned or took away from InvestFest?
Who wants to go?
I'll start. I think I always listen when billionaires speak. I listen when everybody speaks, but I'm very, very attentive when billionaires speak. So
that was like a stunt right there.
No, it's reality.
I mean, how many people have conversations with billionaires?
No, I'm not having this conversation when they speak.
All right.
I don't have to have a conversation to hear somebody speak.
Got you.
So I didn't have a conversation with Dan Cathy, but I heard him speak. So when Dan Cathy, he was using a lot of analogies, and he was saying how orchestra, every person in the orchestra has to perform at a high level for the music to sound how it's supposed to sound. And he said, never dumb down the music based off of the talent of the orchestra. Get better talent in the orchestra to fit the composition of the music.
Mm-hmm. That's
extremely valuable, Jim, for entrepreneurs, business owners, just people in general.
Yep.
Another thing that I took away was Tyler Perry, when he told us about partnerships working together. And he was like, the problem that most people have is they try to get too much too fast.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, there's nothing wrong with getting small pieces, because you're getting small pieces here. He's like 5, 10, whatever, just small pieces of different things, as opposed to just trying to get a large chunk of something up front, mm-hmm. which could potentially ruin a relationship or ruin a deal. And I thought that was valuable, because he's somebody who has done probably the best job of maintaining his independence, but he understands even that there's still value in collaboration. So even when he was talking about working with BT, and he's like, there's certain, you don't have to do every single thing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with partnerships, collaborations, small pieces here and there. And the way he kind of broke it down, it made a lot of sense to me. Even, him working with Hollywood studios, renting his studio lot. So that was something that was real big for me, as far as that collaborative effort, that collaborative piece that he said. And then also from Steve Harvey, what I got from him was that perception is not always reality, but you can't worry about that. You just got to keep going. So when we told the White House story, which we'll be putting that out soon, but people are very fickle. And people will love you today and they'll hate you tomorrow. But you can't worry about that. Like, you can't, worry about what people on the internet are talking about. You just got to stay focused on what you're doing. Because winners don't have time to talk about other people. Only losers talk about other people. So if you're winning, you just got to stay focused, keep the blinders on, move forward, and people will come back around. Even if they hate you today, they're going to love you tomorrow. That's just how it works. And that happened to him a few times, the Miss Universe thing, the Donald Trump thing, and now he's back on top. So You just got to stay the course. So those are three things that I took away from three different people.
Yeah, that incredible. So I'm gonna start. The first thing I wrote them down was the value of humility, and it was so random. I was walking out of backstage, actually going into the vendor marketplace, and I see this gentleman with this sky blue blazer on. He had like 4 bags in his hand, and I saw like one of the staff just randomly walking with him, and the young lady walked up to me and said, "Can you help this man? He's trying to find the speakers where the speakers are supposed to go." And I looked at her, and she had no idea who the gentleman was. And I looked and I said, "Mr. Kathy, I'll take it from here. I'll walk you where you need to go." And he looked at me and said, "Hey, how you doing? What's your name?" I'm like, "Troy." I'm like, "Pleasure to meet you." And he was like, "Oh, pleasure's all mine. Here's a card." He gave me a Chick-fil-A card. Dan Cathy is the former CEO of Chick-fil-A who passed it down. Obviously, he had a conversation with Dave Shands, but he was just trying to find his way, right? And so I noticed the bags. He had about 4 bags, and I said, "Look, what are all these bags?" And he said, "I was just walking around the marketplace, and people just kept giving me things, so I kept taking it. I actually got a cool cigar." And in my mind, I'm like, "Wow, like." This guy, literally the wealthiest man in that room was Dan Cathy. Walked around unassuming. It felt like it was an episode of Undercover Boss. I'll be honest with you, because every time he walked, no one realized who he was. I mean, he had a badge on with his name on it, and people still didn't realize it was him. And I was just like, wow. Even with that, like the humility that he showed every time he met someone, it was so impressive. It was, "How are you doing? Nice to meet you. What do you do? What brought you here? Are you in?" Like, I watched him I introduced him to Don Peoples, and I was in awe because they're having this billion-dollar conversation right in front of me. He wanted to know about the affirmation tower. Donahue Peoples wanted to hear about what he was doing in the west side of Atlanta. And I'm just sitting there like, this is what InvestFest is. Like, these type of conversations, putting people in positions and in rooms where these conversations could be facilitated. And even after that, he looked at me and said, "Thank you for showing me around. I appreciate it. Let's take some pictures." And I'm like, wow, like to have his level of success, but to also have his level of humility was incredible. So that was my first thing. The second one, and I kind of live by it. And I know Charlie, he gets frustrated with me sometimes, but I look at the sky. I look at the sky, and Steve referenced it when he gave that reference of looking at the wall, and Tyler kind of gave it during his interview when he's like, "If I'm looking at the lights, I don't know what people are doing in the seats, so I got to focus on the lights." So like, anybody saying anything, like I always, and Ian, you know this, like you say something about me, you're not gonna hear a reply because I know what the focus is.
If you mastered that,
I will not be, like, not that I cannot be distracted. I will not be distracted. And so just having that laser focus on the bigger picture, the bigger vision, and not being distracted, not letting anybody take me off my path. And so to hear him confirm that, I was like, yeah. And sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do, but I know it's the right thing to do. I know it's
I'm learning. Trust me, I'm trying.
yeah. And like we go back and forth with that. Like, nah, some things need to be addressed right now because they need to be addressed. I'm like, nah, bro. Let's just. It don't matter. It don't matter. So we go back and forth. And the third thing was that impact has no boundaries. Like, impact has no boundaries. The amount of conversations that I heard from the people who were in attendance this weekend was incredible. And the stories came from all over. They came from all types of different professions. They came from all different backgrounds. But you just never know. You never know what one episode or one piece of information can do. I actually, last night was talking to a gentleman. I told him I have to change my story now. I used to say that people were showing me like, hey, they made $100,000 in their brokerage account, and it was because of a piece of information. The gentleman last night said, "Troy, I started listening to Market Mondays in April of 2021. I have 7 figures in my brokerage account. But y'all, I can't pay y'all for what y'all done."
Yeah.
And so, like, you just never know where the message is going or where the impact is going to go. So that's why you just got to keep delivering. You just got to keep delivering. You kind of keep adding value, and kind of like what we're doing tonight is just continuously be consistent with that. Because you never know. You never know what one piece of information can do for somebody.
Yeah. Let me just follow up that real quick, Ian, before you go to Dan Cathy. First of all, 7,000 people on YouTube. Hit the like button, please.
Love you guys.
Dan Cathy's situation is interesting. He came early. That's one. So Dan Cathy's worth $7 billion. You should know that because it's important. So he came early. He's on time. He's early, and he has a suit on. He's very unassuming type of guy, like probably like 5'6", something like that, 5'7". And he has a jacket blazer with a name tag, and his name tag said Dan T. Cathy, and the position, it didn't say CEO, it didn't say it doesn't say any of that. It says customer service.
Mm-hmm.
That's his title, Dan T. Cathy, customer service. And he came by himself. Not one person. He came by himself with a Chick-fil-A bag and a Chick-fil-A name tag, and was just walking the vendor marketplace. So I say that to say there's a few different lessons in that. You never know who you're speaking to. Now, if you read the name tag, even if you didn't watch Market Mondays and you didn't hear us telling you who Dan Cathy was, you might have really thought he was customer service. You might have thought he was customer service. So he might have, a billionaire might have been at your booth having a conversation with you, and you might have saw a customer service on his name tag, and you might have thought that he was customer service for Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
You might not have known that you was literally speaking to somebody worth $7 billion.
It's not even might. That's the crazy part. It's not even might. Somebody's listening to this right now because he was at their vendor booth.
Well, that's what I'm
you
saying.
know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
So I say that to say
about that.
I say that to say it's important to get to places early first. That's a life
big
lesson.
key.
Because all of the vendors wasn't even there yet because it was before 10 o'clock. So it's important to be early because you never know what can happen. And it's important to just speak to everybody. Like, you never know who you're talking to. So you never know. You never know what can happen.
Yeah. It was real undercover boss. The young lady, I was like, after I was leading, I'm like, ma'am, do you know what it is? She was like, no, he just seems like he was lost. I'm like, okay, no problem. He's gonna be on stage in a little bit. He'll let you know who he is.
All right, Ian, what's some of your lessons?
Number one lesson, combination of Steve and Tabiti. So it was when Steve was like, don't focus on your haters. So when I was talking to Tabiti, Tabiti cool as a fan. He like, yeah, bro, like anytime anybody hate, just help the people that love you more and help the audience more. And me and Ty and Dom and people was talking about it. It's like, well, if we get any pushback, just take that energy and push it back into Red Panda, into the community, to earners, like to give more, make people more. So like the supreme focus that Steve has, I can see how he can take adversity and use it as energy and channel it into something bigger. Because let's not, like, Steve has reinvented himself a couple of times, and let's not act like he isn't one of the best business moguls there is right now. Lesson number two, I think is really important, even as you grow, to show love and remain a fan of people that you were fans of before. Like, I'm seeing, me show love to Keys, Trap, Matt, him 500 come through, Matt, like, it's so much, because I know we always talk about collaboration, but not often do we go out of our way to express love. So Trap brought me out last year. He was about to go out. I grabbed the mic. I said, bro, I got to bring you out. Trap had tears in his eye. I'm like, bro, why? You dope as hell. Like, you made room for me, created a path to make it easier for me. And then he returned a favor the next day. So I think outwardly showing love, and Trap and I don't have like an affiliate arrangement or LLC behind the scenes. Like, it's just genuine love between us. And I think if more people did that, I think the economies will become even bigger and will quintuple in maybe a 2 or 3 year period, because now you have synergy between audiences. And then number three, just help the most. All the people that I saw who had the greatest impact, Tyler Perry, Steve, Dan, they just helped the most people. That's why I got so emotional when I was on stage, like feeling that love from everybody in the crowd. Because whether you've seen the show one time and you don't like some of my takes, but you can't deny that like I give my all to try and share like hedge fund level information to our community for free so you guys can make money from it. And the outpouring, like when you're real, and I know people ask you guys all the time about building a brand. The core of it, like in white communities, they may say authentic, be authentic. In our community, we'll say keep it real. Universally, the more honest and real you are, the more people will gravitate to you. Like I met some brothers at the mid business event who are from Florida in real estate. They're like, "Hey, Matt doing a seminar." I'm like, "Matt doing it?" He like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Man, I'll do it." He like, "What you gonna charge me?" I'm like, "Nothing." If Matt doing it, I know y'all got to be legit. He was like, "Bro, I appreciate it." Did the drop there. So it's just like about giving more, but seeing how gracious Steve was, taking time to say hi to everybody, Marjorie, like to Beatty, the whole team. I think the answer is just to give more, be kind, and stay incredibly focused. I mean, it was 1,000 gems I took away, but those were the main three.
Shout out to Dame Dash and DJ Envy. They had a moment also. That was I swear when I Trap, he was like, he's watching it backstage and he was like, "Yo, I just realized what y'all did." Like to me, that was one of the most legendary moments of InvestFest too, because Dame Dash helped set the tone for financial literacy, this whole movement 7 years ago, however long it was, when he went on the Breakfast Club. Shout out to Wall Street Trapper with the $500 super chat. And he went on the Breakfast Club and had that, that episode, and he was going at Envy kinda, they was having kind of a, banter, but that's part of life. Brothers argue, brothers fight, but ultimately, maturity always wins out. And
Absolutely.
I thought that was very big of DJ Envy to say in front of 12,000 people that he thanked Dame Dash and said that he gave him an opportunity early on, and he's grateful for that opportunity, and he has a high level of appreciation for Dame Dash. So I thought that was dope for that to happen on InvestFest stage, to come full circle moment for the culture.
Trap, get on Zoom.
Trap, send them the Zoom link, please.
Great. Let's see. Trap, I'm about to send it to you right now, my
Trap
brother.
gonna be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
come on, King."
Yeah.
If you're interested,
just give the people 5 minutes, please.
Let's see if he pop on.
Let's get him on if he's interested in coming on. In the meantime, we'll get some questions going too, as we wait for Trap to do a last minute Market Monday surprise. You sent them.
Trap and Josh are so dope too. Like that energy, killing it.
Yeah. I mean, and he was like, we had a great conversation about that earlier. He was just like what that meant, right? It was like coming where he comes from, speaking how he speaks, but giving so much information and so much knowledge and so much passion. It just meant so much to him to stand next to, something or entity, right? Because when people think Josh Brown, they see Frank Holland, they think traditional financial education, and to have him on the stage and showing like, look, this is a way we can educate our people as well. It was just a dope moment. Like he could stand his ground with anybody in the field. And so that meant a lot to him, and it meant a lot for us to make sure that moment was curated just that way. So it was dope, man. Like that's our brother. We've been on this journey for 3 years now, man. So to see his growth has been incredible. To see the growth in all the guys, like him, 500, we had a great conversation with as well. So it's dope, man.
This guy always got a trick up his sleeve. Always got a trick up his sleeve. I went to the Rick Ross's Sprinter van, and I saw the recession-proof jersey. I said, all right.
We even say that. We even say that. We just like,
I know what he's up to.
He always got a trick, bro.
This guy's got the mascots.
But it's a good lesson. Like with an opportunity that big, like even for me, like the prep time for the stage show. Like for those of you who haven't seen me live, man, please, if the performance is fire, please put fire in chat and let the people know. Like you have, like, because people's like, man, I wanted to see you at the party. I'm like, I'm gonna be real with you. If I don't perform, I'm gonna be at the party with y'all every year and never on stage. I'm going after Tyler.
We at the party.
Gotta put some shit out
every year
and set the bar higher on stage shows. Shout out to everybody in the rebellion. So, and it's a good business lesson. When you have a moment when people are not looking at you as necessarily as a star or celebrity, right? You have to perform like a star. Because I'm never thinking of people in the financial space. I'm like, shit, what if the boy Drake come get up here and he learned futures? Because he's doing a gambling thing.
Well, that's
what if Cardi come up here?
This is a good lesson that Chris Gotti, one of my favorite people, he told us. He said this is early on episode number 23 of Earn Your Leisure, and he said something that I'll never forget. And he said you know, when you go to clubs and like at the end of the club, they'll play like a local artist, like the DJ's just trying to break a record. But when they play it, it doesn't sound the same because it's not mixed and mastered properly.
Yep.
So he was like, the problem is that local independent artist is not competing with local independent artists. They're competing with Drake, and they're competing with Rihanna. So the quality of the music has to sound the same. And I told Troy and I told Mike that early. We was having issues with audio, and I told him, I said, look, nobody cares that we just started a podcast. We're not competing with people that just started a podcast. We're competing with CNBC. We're competing with, you know, all of these guys at the top. Like, that's our competition. Even though we just started, we're on the same podcast charts. So we can't say, oh, we just started, so, you know, give us some time. We have to compete with the people at the highest level if we want to be at the highest level.
Very beginning.
Very important lesson.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
Yeah. You can't have any business owner, please listen. Everything that you do has to be a level up. Because, like, honestly, people are picking between InvestFest, baseball, not going, live streaming. So you have to make it entertaining. Also, too, to also deliver information that's impactful, that is practical, and put on a good stage show is really tough. But that's what our people are coming to see. It's not just information. It's not just entertainment. You need a combination of both. And for anybody who joined off, I want to say this too. Once I get all the emails, you guys get signed up in Stock Club next week. So I just wanted to make that announcement. So you'll be in next Monday after I get the emails. But make sure as a business owner, you shotgun. Same in the vendor space. Trap, phenomenal space. M500, phenomenal space. Like, and everything has to get bigger and bigger. And you have to continue to level up across the board.
Vendor booth wars.
Yes. So let's get some questions answered, and we'll talk about some investing. I'm sure people will have some questions about. We'll bring Janet on.
Janet's got a plan.
What's up?
Hello, guys.
How are you?
See you all again. I am doing well. It's been a whirlwind the last few weeks with you guys. Ian's birthday party. Now InvestFest. I literally got into town back in Rhode Island like 2 hours ago. So
welcome to the tour. This is part of the tour.
This is wild. I don't know how you guys do it. Shout out to all the earners. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
We'll be in Martha's Vineyard tomorrow.
This is true.
Wow. That's very close to Rhode Island.
If you're interested,
putting that out there.
Pull up.
Let me know.
It's our closest appearance.
Oh, can I just say one last thing before we go to questions about work ethic? And, you know, I always respected Ross forever. I respect him as a lyricist, but I respect him as an entrepreneur and his business acumen. And I was talking to Dave Gross before, and he was saying that Nipsey Hussle, out of every single person that Nipsey Hussle really, you know, had relationships with, he admired Ross the most out of any business person. He admired him more than Jay. He was like, he admired Ross' business acumen the most. And I always had respect for Ross, but I just gained a whole new level of respect for him yesterday as far as his work ethic, because he did Rock the Bells on Saturday, which was in Queens. So he performed at a festival in New York City on Saturday, and he left Sunday afternoon to fly to Atlanta, came to InvestFest like 20 minutes before he's supposed to get on stage, gave us a concert performance well over and above what he was obligated to do.
Oh, wow.
Left, and I saw on Instagram 2 hours later, he's like, New York City, I'm be at club X, Y, and Z tonight. He flew back to New York for a club appearance that day.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So shout out to Ross.
For you guys to think that's impressive, that's a big deal, because you guys are always everywhere.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was that same day delivery. He
touchdown.
Can I be honest? Everyone's like, work smart. All the smartest people on earth are working smart and hard. So like, even when, shout out to Chris, put the clip up about the number of tasks you need to do per day. Man, I promise you, if there was a way to like do 4 tasks a day and make billions of dollars, I would have figured it out. They would have figured it out. A lot of it is just work ethic and consistency and keeping your word and showing up and delivering over and over and over again for years. That like Ross been, even when he first got started right behind the scenes, that was 03. Look how much.
I would say watching Steve and Tyler, like they started off with nothing. So you really have no excuse when you're there at InvestFest, hearing all these strategies. And it's like, believe in yourself, be consistent, do the work.
Yeah. It's a lot
Without
of
all of these lessons and shows and books and symposiums that we have now in technology, they literally had to figure it out.
and think about the level that they're at, right? Like we brought up Ross, but let's bring up T.I. for a second. This dude was out of town on Friday, flew in, came straight from the airport to VIP night. Okay. Saturday, he had to fly to Portland, Oregon. Flew to Portland, Oregon on Saturday, did a performance that night, got on a plane in the morning, and flew to come to InvestFest. And was blown away. We had a conversation after he got off stage, and he was just like, we need to talk more because we need to build more. We need to build more. But Envy too. Shout out to Envy. Like these guys, they
shout out to Dame. Dame drove from Florida.
Shout out to
Dame,
shout out to
that's
shout
what I'm
out-
saying. You don't
Oh,
see-
let me just finish on Envy because we got to talk about Dame because that was even to have him there. That's super rare. But Envy too, traveling from North Carolina, flying from and then flying back, and like you expect him to be on the Breakfast
on the
Club
radio
at 6 a.m, and he's there.
But you don't see, like, you see these people as successful people, but you don't see what goes on behind the scenes. Like all of these stories that we told, that's real stories. Like Dame Dash was in Winter Haven, Florida, somewhere in Florida. He drove from Florida to Atlanta, which is 8 hours.
Wow.
Got him a barber. He got his hair cut. He went on stage. Amazing performance on stage. I said, when you leaving town, when you go back? He said, today, right now.
Today.
I'm done.
Wow.
Nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I came to do this and it's over. I'm not spending the night. I'm not going to dinner. I'm not going out for drinks. I'm leaving.
And for people who think it's fun, it's not fun traveling and crisscross, especially when you got kids. Like tomorrow, be a trap studio, then go home, see my baby, go to Dallas, shoot with Corey. Friday, go to Ty's. But like, this is what it takes. And
Shout
I know
out to all of you guys for doing what you guys do for the community.
You know what people told us? They like a few people walked up to me at the end of InvestFest, and even some people walked up at the airport and like, man, I'm exhausted. And I'm just looking at them like,
yeah. So what it takes.
Yeah, is that right?
Yeah, man.
You guys party like rock stars too. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Don't forget that part.
Don't ever forget. Ian is responsible most of the time. He's not. He's a very responsible.
I could have had Bottle Wars on Friday and a dud on Sunday.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. He is responsible. Troy responsible. He's responsible too. But I'm going for it. I'm going for it every night. Me and Abdullah, we're on a mission. I told him, I said, look, if I'm out, you're out. He's like, yo, we going out tonight? I said,
baby.
Yeah, even when he doesn't want to go.
Even if he don't want to go. If I'm out, you're out. You have no choice.
Yeah, you got next time it happens, I'm gonna record his face. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm calling it. And it's not like I'm not out, right? Like it'd be like, all right, I'll go out. But then they want to go out after going out. And I'm like, yo, bro, I'm calling it. I'm like, yo, Yogi, what's good? You trying to go? He's like, yo, Shotty, go, I gotta go.
Yo,
I love
the nightlife. It's addicting.
Speaking of going out, we going to tape again and we're not talking.
Of course.
Are you kidding me?
Of course.
We got to make an announcement, let the people know who don't know.
Well, I'm trying to see if this website is set up.
That's a definite.
Okay.
Wait, what's going on?
Let's go to questions.
Oh.
We're gonna have
Give the people what they want.
All right, Joy, we are coming to you. Unmute yourself, please.
Hi, thank you so
I
much.
got a mask on.
You guys,
Got the mask. Oh my God.
got the mask. Okay.
Instagram.
Thank you guys. Seriously, what you guys do is just incredible, amazing. Can't wait to see the rest of your journey. My question is about selling stocks. I've been buying whenever I can, and I'm just wondering, like, and I'm holding, as Ian says, 5 to 10 years to make some money. But I'm wondering, when do you sell, and how do you sell? What's the process? Do you have to pay taxes? Just wondering how that works. Is it just hit the button for sell?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a couple questions there.
Sorry.
I think something Josh Brown said that was very interesting when during his panel, and he was talking about being in the market, and he talked about the percentages if you're in it in 5 years, right? And he talked about the percentage if you held your stock for 10 years, it was like a 90% chance of gain, and if you held it for 20 years, when he said it was 100% chance that the money is going to increase, I was like, if people don't get that, I don't know what else to say. As far as taxes, yeah, it depends on when you're buying or selling. I understand people have shares and they want to, cut down on their shares, but you have to have a plan, right? Like, is there a percentage that you're willing to leave at? is there a max amount of shares that you want to have? And if you sell it within a year, all right, a 12-month span, it's going to be taxed at short-term capital gains. If you have it for a year and a day, like 1 year and a day, then obviously that changes the tax code to a long-term capital gains, and the percentages is a lot different. So we always encourage people to be longer-term investors. Number one, for the tax purposes, but also that the longer you keep it. I mean, he said, and Josh is a guy, like, trust us, and Josh knows what he's talking about, right? And
Big
he
business,
says it all the
yeah.
time. It sounds like it's a scary proposition, like 10 years, but yeah, put the money in, hold it, and then you don't even have to worry about all the rest.
Let me ask you a question. If you met Tina Knowles in 1997 and she said, I got a daughter named Beyonce, and you could have invested in her career at 21 years old, when would you want to sell your position in Beyonce?
Oh, I probably wouldn't.
If you want to sell a stock, that means you are not in a good company and you need to purge it out of your portfolio. You need all hits. Beyonce, Cardi, Jay, you need all hits, Drake's, because if you have something of quality, you won't want to let it go.
Right.
Now, if you want to take some off, okay. But usually when we want to sell, it's because it was no good. So like a bad relationship, cut it fast, let it go. But quality, you need to hold on to forever. And Josh is right. Like, especially over a 30-year period, it's almost impossible to lose money. And I know we're like, hey, I don't want to hold for 10. I don't want to hold for 20. But if we're talking generational wealth, we have to hold for at least one generation. Are there any stocks you're thinking about selling right now because they're not good?
I have AARK. That's kind of concerning me.
Let it go.
Okay.
Kind of concerned.
I won't say where I got that advice from, but
Purge, put the mask on, Ian.
No. Okay, we're gonna be diplomatic.
Oh,
Diplomatic immunity too. You don't have to say where you got it from, but I will tell you, if you listen to the show and I'll say, if I don't say emphatically, this is what to invest in, let it go. Because there's a lot of people who are talking about financial information who are not financially free and who are trying to poach and pillage our community. Please be careful. And I've said it before. I think it was a coordinated attack against Kathy, but also too, when you are, please write this down, any hedge fund that is actively trading their positions in like 100 and 200 positions in a week, it is too much. And I love looking at charts. Everybody in Dream Team does. To look at 100 charts in one session is exhausting. Snipers, put yes in chat if you agree. To actually buy them and trade them, that's too much. If you have quality, you just want to add to it and don't take away from it. But yes, let's purge ARKK. And she shut one of those funds down.
And can you transfer it, or is it more like if I wanted to buy Apple with what I have in ARK, do I just sell it and then buy more Apple?
I don't know what percentage you're down, because if you've been holding it long enough, you may be down 60 or 80%. I mean, even with that, like Kathy called me.
She called
last
you?
year.
She called you?
No, I'm telling her, call me. We had a little email exchange last year, because like, even when she sold Coinbase, like she bought it at 280 and sold it.
That was crazy.
Let me help you, but all that ego. No, currently at this time we don't. Okay.
Yeah. What did she
Market
get it at?
Mondays is the hedge fund.
She got it at 240.42 for the fund and sold it at 53.
I would never.
I think it was something like that. I know that the sell was at 53, and then I think 2 days later is obviously when the Blackrock news hit and it went up to 92. So
that's why I say I know people have been talking about, Joe been talking about podcast wars. We've been talking about vendor booth wars. That hedge fund war, real. As soon as they bled her position down and they were shorting against her, now look how they came in and swooped it up at the bottom, and now it's going to take back off. Now she can't reallocate the position to then follow Blackrock, because the clients are going to say, well, if they got in and they were the market maker that pushed Coinbase up, why don't we give all the money to Blackrock? So a lot of times you have to see who the competitors are. If you were at InvestFest, I gave you the site to look at to see what all hedge funds are buying. So if you're competing against Vanguard, BlackRock, and they are shorting to make another hedge fund get out of that position, they can then take it over and ride it back up to the upside. The same thing happened with Bill Ackman and Valiant. He had issues with other hedge funds. If you watch Billions, you've seen this happen. And they actively coordinated 15 hedge funds to go against his position and make it go down damn near to zero. And then when he got out of it and they bled him dry, it popped up, and then the company slowed down. Please go research which top 5 hedge funds. Because if they imagine this, if Kathy is fighting the top 5 hedge funds in a position, who's going to win a battle? You never want a person who is doing a bunch of press to lead a fund, because it's really tough to do both. Kudos to the queen. But Kathy called me. Shoot the rebellion, 300-400 million. You'll be good.
So just to piggyback off of Joy's question, what percentage of the month, like income you guys make, do you invest? Because life is also to be enjoyed, right? So just curious, once you reach your freedom number, how do you guys go about deciding how much you want to invest?
40 to 50%.
Yeah.
40.
You
want to enjoy it, but here's what happens. We elevate, and then we enjoy it, and then we enjoy more than we invest.
I think
a lot of times people like, what? Say it.
My bad. Go ahead, Ian.
No, because we enjoy too much. And once it's like a drinking problem or a drug problem. We say we'll do it in moderation, but anytime anyone tells me moderation, I know it's not quantifiable. So you want to make sure, because life is long. I've seen people go up 10, 20, 30 million in 1 year, and 2 years later be back to whatever their financial thermostat says they're comfortable with, and they'll go broke again. So you can spend your way, like even with 50, like Tyson's house has to be cursed. 50 bought their house for 12 million. I think Troy sold it for 3 million. Like you have to be very careful when spending money, because it'll come in fast, and everybody will have a season with 4 or 5 years, you'll make money like crazy, and then you can go through a dry spell for 10 years. You have to have them. And doesn't mean I don't want you to have fun, but that's why you have to have those assets working for you, because it's not just about you. It's you, your friends, your family, grandma, mom. Right. Life is long, and every business won't always sustain itself. So a lot of times when I'm being so passionate about the information, I've seen people go through really hard boom and bust cycles. And if they would have just invested half the money they was making from their business, they could have stayed afloat 15 years. And they never did it.
I think sometimes,
like, look at all the crypto funds who bled down. And if they would have just put 20% of their money in Apple, Microsoft, they would still be alive right now.
Yeah.
Bitcoin was going to 100,000. No.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think sometimes you have to use the eye test too. And it's not sometimes always like a set strategy. Like, at least for me personally, like there was times in my life when I wasn't investing any money because I didn't have any money to invest. What can you do? I was hustling, I'm grinding, and I'm trying to, get my business off the ground, and I'm working. And then now, and like on times when it's a surplus of capital, then more money goes in. But I feel like if you have a job, it's easier to have set guidelines, because it's ups and downs in entrepreneurship. Sometimes you might make money, sometimes you might not make money. So it's always good to have a goal, but you always got to adjust. It's like football. You might have to run an audible on a play, right? So it's like you could say like, all right, I'm gonna invest 10% of my money, but sometimes some months you might not be able to invest it. That's just the reality of entrepreneurship. It's like it's ups and downs. It's never going to be a straight, easy road. But when you do get opportunities, that's when you have to maximize that opportunity. So when you are in good times and you are in surplus and you have extra cash flowing in, you want to make sure that you just don't waste that money, or you don't do foolish things with that money, that you invest in that money, and be disciplined, throughout the course of time. But, make adjustments to the play, because ultimately that's what life is about. You gotta be able to maneuver.
Yep.
So what do you think people wait? Sorry, I have a question. I'm sorry, Andrea. I just have a question. So I know that like right now the market's down and people don't have a lot of money, right? But also we say that this is a good time to invest, right? So how do they?
I think saying people that don't have a lot of money is a relative thing. I mean,
right.
I think some people have money, some people don't have money,
time and money for what they want to.
And unfortunately, a lot of people don't have money, but they didn't have money before. Like it didn't drastically change for the middle class or the working class. Like nothing's really
I
drastic.
don't know, gas is up crazy, groceries. People are feeling it every week.
No, I'm
Can
saying,
I be honest?
if you're feeling it now, if 50 cents or 25 cents on the gas is changing the situation, you were in a bad situation last year. Like that's not going to drastically change the situation, right? Like if that's an issue, it was an issue last year. So what I'm saying is that business is always going to be run no matter what the economic environment is. But, economic downturns affect people, but it affects the working and middle class more than the rich. But the working and middle class been broke. Like people in the neighborhood they've been in a recession. It never really left. The recession never really left. The recession only affects the rich. The poor already been in a recession.
Yeah. And two points I want to follow with. I couldn't get the name, but I saw somebody in Zoom say create more opportunities. A good exercise is for you to create 10 ideas a day. If like this is what I did when I had no money, 10 ideas that can per day that will help you get out of your current situation. So a lot of times the ideas that I'm doing now are things that I wrote down in 2005 and 2006. Even if you don't have the money, create now with social media partnership. This is why it's important for you to go to these events. And you guys see me do it, like my whole team, like, man, you got to stop. But I'm like, if people are coming across the country, like a girl, I got into an accident Saturday, went to urgent care, came Sunday to see you. How can I not stop to talk to her? As a result, she's like, I'm going to connect you with this person and this person, right? So show up to these places and network. Number two, I know we always say this, that we don't have money. I've never seen more Black people have this much jewelry in America ever. I don't want to hear that.
But
shit.
Is it real? Diamond Test, shout out to Wallow. Is it Diamond Test approved? That's
a separate conversation.
Nevertheless, I'm seeing Louis, Gucci, Balenciaga. I like dudes just quit wearing Jordans.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Straight to McQueen.
I said, y'all done spent $15,000 on 2 outfits.
Straight
for you to go home and still not get none.
That's a fact, though. Honestly, I never thought about that. Like people was just wearing $500 sneakers like it's okay. All those Alexander McQueen sneakers.
We're talking upwards of it.
The Alexander McQueen sneakers is like Air Force
One. You to go home and get on Pornhub. Boy, you better get that portfolio up. Here goes Ian again. Hey, man, let's be real. Hey. Like we make room for what we want to make room for.
That's true.
Yeah, and you said something very powerful, and it brought me back to Milano. Shout out to her.
Shout out to Milano.
Incredible entrepreneur out of Philly.
Legend.
You probably rocked her clothes. And I don't want to misquote it, but it was along the lines of like when you talked about writing down your goals. She said every night she wrote down her goals. So she went to sleep with a dream and woke up with a vision. Mm-hmm. Like so, every day she knew she had something to accomplish. Every night she knew she had something to dream towards. And so, like that's part of it too, man. Like you gotta have that type of discipline to say, all right, I gotta create. What am I gonna create? I don't know. Like I spoke to her and she was like, yeah, being on Earn Your Leisure was one of her goals.
Did she say that?
She said that. I said, yo, we hit you last year.
Dreams come true.
That's amazing.
Incredible.
Right.
Can I make an announcement?
Breaking news alert.
All right. Come on. Let's go crazy.
News alert. What's the joint? Put the alarms in the chat. Alarms in the chat right now. Alarms in the chat right now.
Get on Zoom.
I'm turning into my rapper mode right now. All right. I done did 2 performances on stage.
Smoke machine
right now.
Smoke machine is a very, very good idea. Okay, let's do this. So
back to back.
Mine's gone clear.
In February last year, we decided to pack our bags and go to the United Kingdom. We went to London for a networking event. It was supposed to just be a networking event, meet and greet, just kind of test the waters. Invited all the friends. Kiana Watson came, Ian came, 19 Keys came, Beyond Wind came, MG the Mortgage Guy came. It was a whole vibe, the crew. And Tape London, thank you for the hospitality. And what ended up happening was the venue held 300 people and 2,500 people showed up. So 2,200 people actually was waiting outside in central London, and it was freezing cold, and they never saw that many Black people in central London waiting outside for anything. So they got very nervous, but long story short,
I can't.
It's true. It was a vibe. It's true. We enjoyed ourselves. I went out every single night, 7 days in a row. We went to Paris. We had a great time in Europe. And we realized that, the message of financial literacy is something that every continent needs, right? It's not just an American thing. And they didn't have the same access that we have in America as far as like, the financial influencers and people speaking their, their type of language, that, their vibe and, their culture. So they were so impressed with the outpouring of support that we got, the people at Tape. They connected us with, there's a venue out there, which is actually the most prestigious venue in the United Kingdom, called the Prince Albert Hall. Royal Albert Hall. Sorry. And it is it's kind of like Carnegie Hall. I guess that's like the best way to describe it. What Carnegie Hall is in America.
Kennedy Center. Yeah.
Yes. So they offered us the venue to do a real proper production. So we originally was going to do it on July 4th, a whole play on Independence Day, and Wireless Festival was out there, but it was just too much planning with InvestFest and that. So we had to push that back. So I'm thinking like, all right, the UK is cool, but we need to conquer the whole entire Europe. So InvestFest, you saw what happened in Atlanta, Georgia last weekend, legendary. So we're taking the show on the road. InvestFest Europe will be on Halloween in London.
Halloween Havoc.
Yes. Halloween in London, InvestFest Europe. We're bringing the gang with us, and we're going to connect with the European vibe, and we're going to get some influences from London. We might have some musical performances from London. We're going to have the people that's actually doing the work in London and different places in Europe. And we're going to make a whole weekend out of it. We're going to have a VIP night probably on that Sunday before, on the 30th. The actual day of information will be on October 31st in London, in Royal Albert Hall. 5,000 people, pristine. Did you see the venue yet, Ian? Like on YouTube? Did you?
Dynasty. No, not me, but Sean. Of course. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, on the site,
Legendary.
it's Adele's favorite place to perform.
Legendary.
Oh, wow.
The acoustics are so good.
Legendary. Man gone clear.
Mine's gone clear. Mine's gone large. Yo,
look, shout out to Gig, shout out to Skepta, shout
easy. Stop. I'm gonna stop you right now. Stop. Listen,
Rebellion.
I want to, because we always talk about the next thing, right? So you got to imagine that while we preparing for InvestFest in Atlanta, we also on the back burner are preparing for InvestFest Europe.
Wow.
That lineup, listen to me.
Crazy.
You don't hear me talk like this. I'm gonna do it for you right now because mine's gone clear. Yo, that lineup, top tier. You already know how we did it here. That lineup for London is going to be top tier.
It don't stop. I told you when I be saying
top tier.
When I know they get tired of like, yo, this guy's always like promoting. Like I'm telling you, like it's the never deliver strategy. And that's Apple. I shouldn't even say this because this is the biggest gym in life. But Apple's key is never deliver strategy, not never deliver on their products. But once you deliver something, you got to have something else right after.
Speaking of which,
no, don't do that. Come on. Don't do that. Why you doing? Yo,
stay tuned.
This man.
And we're in London. We get into the
mic.
Rebellion.
Don't do that. Cannot do that.
I'm a chill. I'm a come.
Yo, Ian, 1 month at a time, bro. 1 month at a time.
Listen,
1 month at a time.
Listen, show up. Super bonus. Pandas, show up. Rebellion heavy. Let's do trade London session and London products while we out there too for free. What are we doing? Bottle Wars
after
for free.
Party Tape London.
Yeah.
VIP night. We got something extremely legendary for VIP night. Look,
it's dope too.
Go to earnyourleash.com, go to the InvestFest Euro tab, or go to investfesteuro.com. Get your tickets. This is for people in Europe and the UK, but it's also for Americans. If you've never traveled to Europe, if you've never traveled to London, even if you have, this is going to be a tourist.
New Yorkers, don't kill me. London looked like what New York probably looked like in the 19th.
New York, London's a vibe. London's one of my favorite cities. I can't wait.
It definitely moved up in the top 5.
I cannot wait to go back to
We had
London.
a great time.
I'm telling you this straight up. I can't wait to go back to London. So if you're in America, get your passports ready.
Services,
get your plane tickets.
Yes.
And the dollar is so much stronger now.
We're gonna be out there all weekend, man.
This is a good time.
It don't stop. You thought Atlanta, like you thought we was gonna like just live on this Atlanta situation for a whole year. It don't stop. one day later, InvestFest Europe.
Now, I'm saying it now. I want to get picked up like Kanye when I'm done now.
Yo, shout out. Wait. We
Atlanta
even
was serious.
Hey, yo,
1,000 strong when we coming in.
Ian, we gotta acknowledge the mask. So I'm gonna put it after we finish this. I'm gonna put our picture up with the mask before the world saw it. I was like, I gotta take a picture. I'm gonna put that in my story right after we finish.
And don't worry,
legendary.
Don't worry, we coming to Africa, but Europe is important because Europe colonized the whole world. They colonized Africa, they colonized the Americas. But before they colonized the world, Europe was civilized by Africans.
Too.
Hannibal Barca conquered Europe when he was like 24 years old, coming from Africa, 242 BC. So it's already in the bloodline. So they was waiting for us to come back. So we're gonna come back. We're gonna conquer Europe. We're gonna free the minds of the people, and then we're gonna work our way all across the globe.
Halloween
but Europe is the first priority because they owe us.
Players like yours. Yo, shout out to Toronto. I see in Tube. We come. Listen, Toronto.
I can't wait.
We are.
We gotta stay.
I don't know how many times we're gonna say it is my favorite city. Rashad, is your favorite city too?
I love Toronto.
It's our favorite city. Yo, listen, shout out
Toronto.
to my brothers who pulled up on me. They're like, Troy, I want to hold. We are coming. You don't have to ask. Toronto, we are coming. It's just be patient. Be patient. We're gonna do this 1 month at a time. Ian, 1 month at a time, bro.
My brother, I love you, so I'm gonna listen.
I wonder if they have Smoothie Kings in London. We have to figure that out.
I'm gonna ship them over. Another jacket.
Damn, man.
1,000. I'm saying, y'all thought that show was something.
Shout out to all the Jamaicans. Shout out to all the Nigerians out there. Shout out to all of the people from Ghana out there. You know, there's a lot of black people in London, and they were so happy when we came because they was like nobody has ever come like speak to the community. Like there's a lot of black people in London, and you know, there's nobody's talking to them like that. I'm not gonna say nobody, but it's not on the same level as how we have it here in America. So they was just so happy that we was here. They like, yo, it's a blessing that you're here because we need it. We need the information. And it's not the same how it is in America, how you can just readily get information so readily available. So, you know, the way that we came and how we was delivering the message, they was just all for it. So
you guys need an Afro beats artist.
Yo, everybody just chill.
Y'all gotta
relax.
Got to relax.
Shout out to London. When my mom heard that announcement, she said, she don't even like to travel. She said, I'm coming.
London.
I said, okay, make
Red
sure you
Panda family get there.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
By the way, Troy, I met your dad. He said I'm his favorite on Market Mondays. I just wanted to say that. Shout out to Mr. Miller.
I'll bring him down here right now.
Go get him, please.
I will bring him.
All right, Andrea. We are coming to you. I know you've been waiting a while. Thank you for your patience. Unmute yourself, please.
Thanks, Janet.
Hello.
I am so happy to be here.
Yay.
I am so proud of EYL. You guys did that thing.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you.
And you looked amazing. So I'm older. The Rick Ross thing kind of turned me off a little bit. But I know it's for the young people.
Shout out. You couldn't fully appreciate Rose.
Oh, Lord. And the Red Panda masks.
I'll
get to my question,
we
but
have
you
to
guys
purge the world of bad information.
The purge is here.
The purge has begun.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we ready for you. We ready for you.
I'm ready.
My question is, I think my question is for Janet. And Janet, you were beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I actually see you. I know you move in silence. I actually could see you on that. Yeah, on the stage with Kiana, Angie, Pinky, and who's the other person? The other young lady, because you are a boss. So my question has to do with, question has to do with your Airbnb business. So besides like checking the rules and regulations for my area, Detroit, shout out to Ian. Yeah. And like attending all kinds of Airbnb meetups, what are a few things I should know about getting started in this business?
Sure. I mean, I had people asking me all throughout InvestFest about Airbnb. I'm like, Airbnb chose me apparently. I didn't choose Airbnb. But yes, I would say it doesn't have to be expensive to get started. Like right now, I'm furnishing my second floor. My tenants moved out. So I'm on Facebook Marketplace looking at tables, chairs. My friend was giving away her couch, so I snatched those up. They are in storage. So I'm excited to have my third midterm rental started soon. So it doesn't have to be expensive to get started. And it's all about the details. I'm very detail oriented, as the guys will say. They probably know about me. So there's never a hair anywhere. Like, really make sure that you provide a really great service. I love hosting people. So I leave like a note. I have a whiteboard. I'll put the person's name there, the Wi-Fi, anything that they were going to ask me about often. And I say, don't be the cheapest around. Provide a good service, have good communication, and make sure that I feel like when I up my price, I got even better customers. I haven't had any horror stories.
Say that again.
Yeah. So, price yourself in a way that you get a good customer. If you provide a good service, it's not going to be an issue. What else can I say? Housekeeping is everything. And that's probably my hardest thing is the turnover sometimes with housekeepers. And so right now, no shade. I hope this guy doesn't watch Market Mondays, but I have a man right now that cleans for me.
I'm out.
Yeah. So he's good, but he's not really detail oriented. So when I'm out of town, I make sure I have a friend that just goes and looks at the place in between visitors. So yeah, just stay on top of it. Communication is key. When people leave, normally the morning after, I send them a message saying, I pride myself in a 5-star experience. Let me know if anything could have been better. And then just don't over embellish. I know everyone says like your photos should be amazing, which is true, but let it really be true to what the place is like and price it appropriately. I think there's a customer for everyone if you just, advertise it properly and let people know exactly what it is. So I hope that helps.
It does. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We got a
People
call.
behave differently in Walmart than they do in Tiffany.
That's a fact.
I'm going to the professional medical staff.
One more tip I'll give you too is that
furnished finders.
Oh.
No, I was going to say I have mine set to smart pricing. So sometimes if it's really busy in Providence, it'll give me a higher price per night. And so I'm always pleasantly surprised when I make more money I expected in a particular month. So try that out.
Thanks, Janet.
Oh man, let's see who we got here. Janet, I got the next one.
We got a special caller.
Who's this? Leon from Louisiana. What's going on?
Yo, what's good?
Yeah, I know your voice. Ty, but thank you. I gotta start off. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being solid. Your friendship, brotherhood means the world to me. And I know you hate every time I do this, but I'm gonna do it every time. Thank you, man.
And I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate everybody, man.
Chad, that's not what we do, man. We gotta introduce the right way.
Let's go.
Brother.
Chapter
attire is now required, ladies and gentlemen. Proceed.
It is required, man. Listen, man, you already know all financial and investment decisions must be, broken down and did your proper research. And if you can't, you must seek out a financial advisor or fiduciary. I know one by the name of Rashad Bilal. I can take you to glory. I can take you to the trap house.
Trap house jumping.
What's up, babe? What's up, Queen?
Hey, how are you? It was nice seeing you again.
Always a vibe. Hey, yo, man, I've been sipping tea all day, man.
Yeah, your voice sound crazy. Your voice sound crazy right now.
Party hard, I see.
Man, I'm always big energy. And, every time I get an opportunity to, just get a people trap, every time my brothers ask me to show up, I don't know how to half-ass it. You know what I'm saying?
You and Ian were so cute on the stage. And Ian, why'd you have to cry and make everyone cry? I didn't appreciate it.
That was the mission. Why cute had to be the word?
Yeah, I'm about to say that's
I know, like us together was cute.
That's interesting.
It was cute. It was cute.
Powerful.
Sorry, guys. The ladies understand what I mean, all right? You guys might not get it, but it was
on Zoom, they said hella cute. I feel you.
Hella cute. It was beautiful.
I think we're in a dope time. I think y'all, I told Rashad, Troy, Ian, what they just did for the community, what they did for the culture, what they did for anybody that's teaching financial literacy was they made everybody, us as educators, like we have to present things to our people on another level now. Right? Every piece of content you put out has to be top tier. Every live you go on, it has to be top tier. I made a bet just now with my friend. I said, yo, I'm about to stop cursing on live and stuff, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
My dad about to text me like I told you. Oh,
right?
God. Okay.
But
I'm going to join you in this.
Yes, but and the reason why a little girl came up to me as I was walking to the stage, she was maybe like 7 years old. And she was like, Mr. Trapper. And I'm looking up the top and she like at my legs. I'm like, oh, damn. And she was like, man, I watch you every day. I was like, oh, really? So she went to telling me about stocks. And then she gave me a three CMOS and I took it and I was like, bet. And her mom was like, no, she makes us watch you every day. I was like, wow. And so as a leader and as somebody who's impactful, that's a gut check. Yeah. So you got to watch what you're saying. If you're really going to be a leader and you're really going to be impactful, and if we're really going to make the next generation come, yeah. If I'm gonna set the tone for the next Wall Street Trapper that's going to be bigger and better, I got to do it in every way. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to just start checking my tone. So Rashad, Ian, Troy, again, I'm going to tell y'all on y'all platform, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for letting me be a part of a historic event, something that I told y'all, I mean, y'all open doors. When y'all open them, I'm going to come through and just let it be known y'all opened it for the right people, bro. So, you know, hold
you made the path. Come on now. We're not going to do that. What
you mean?
You got the hood popping and listening. What you mean?
Nah, man. we all got to
we trapping. What we doing?
We all got to pull the plate. We all got to pull the plate. You know what I'm saying? But of course, man, you know, Market Mondays is legendary. EYL is legendary. Pandas is legendary. So when I'm on stage, I'm like, the first thing I say was, where my earners at? Where my pandas at? You know, I feel like the culture need us all, man. So again, thank y'all. You know, and I think being on stage showed, you know, we always talk about this in the group chats and stuff, but like, you know, egos got to go out the door when we looking at a bigger picture, man. You know, so I can go to Rashad last year and be like, bro, let me bring Ian out. Like, I'll bet. You know what I'm saying? When Ian told me trap this year, I'm gonna bring you out. I damn near cried. Like, damn, you serious, bro? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so when it's my turn to bring him out, I'm gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I want him to feel it. So, and I know my brothers will want a hell of a show because they got too much time, money, and expectations invested for us not to do that. So appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all for that.
Thank you for real.
Always love. Always love.
Always love, man. Leon Howard, Wall Street Trapper, legendary. Anytime that he gets on stage, anytime that he talks, it's a very captivating moment. And I think that was dope to have the CNBC Wall Street Trapper mashup with shout out to Josh Brown.
That was amazing, man.
Yeah. For
shout out to Josh. That was fire.
1-2 combination. And shout out to Frank for moderating it as well.
Hey.
CNBC you know, journalist. So to have those people on the CNBC side, have Trap, and then have it all together, I just thought it would be a dope combination, a dope mashup. And yeah, man, I'll just put it on the spot, bro. If you're interested in
No. We trapping in London.
Well, yeah, you know, extended. Well, he got invited last time, but he had a last minute obligation.
We trapping in London, and what we doing?
So, I don't know if you've been listening to the show, but we're taking the show on the road. InvestFest Europe.
Back in London.
InvestFest Europe. InvestFest Europe will be Halloween in London, and it will be at Royal Albert Hall, which is the most prestigious venue in the UK. Fits over 5,000 people. It's like Carnegie Hall in America. We're going to be doing a VIP night the night before. We're going to probably do like an official after party. We're going to make a whole weekend out of it. So it's InvestFest Europe, and it will be in London, and it will be October 31st, which is Halloween, and it will be legendary. Extremely.
Yeah.
So if we go in the booth, let's build you a trap house and put it right next to Pandas again.
Hold on. Brother, what's that you saying though?
Count me in.
Oh boy.
Well, added.
Listen to this. London, we coming your way. Wall Street Trapper coming your way. Hey, Trap, I know where we gotta go. Me and you. We going to Brixton. Brixton, we coming.
We know.
That'd be a vibe.
Because that's where the family's at. Shout out to all the West Indians.
Yeah.
Shout out to all the Jamaicans out in Brixton.
Man, tell me the date, man. We there. Tell me the date.
That's easy.
I have some ideas for stage show that I think would be great for London. If I can do my orchestration thing.
I'll
talk to you guys about it. But London, have you ever been to London before?
Bro, I just got my passport before the pandemic, bro. I've been to Africa. I've been to Dubai and Jamaica. That's it.
Let's go.
Oh,
it's gonna be at the top. This is gonna be one of the ones, bro.
Man done clear. Man going clear.
We're working on them. We working on it.
I already said I'm gonna do a free trading session. You gonna jump in? We're gonna trade.
Whatever you want to do, man. I'm with you, bro. You know.
Boy.
No, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be a monumental situation. It's gonna open a whole market to you, and it's gonna be something that is going to be very, very big for the branding of everybody that's involved in it. And I think that it's going to get even bigger than just Europe, because Europe, a lot of people that live in London, it's an international city. So we talk about Europe, we talk about London, we talk about Nigeria, we're talking about Jamaica, we're talking about Ghana, we're talking about Abu Dhabi, we're talking about the UAE, and we're connected at the highest levels of government when it comes to London. Shout out to Dayu, my guy.
Lord Dayu, what up?
I say that to say, be diplomatic with me. I got to talk to 19 Keys to make sure that he's on his diplomatic vibes.
I heard about that.
We got ironically enough, he ended up at the embassy.
Yes.
I heard about that. Yes. I heard that was
very fitting.
It's what I know. Like, usually I'm the one that make Rashad cringe. Like, make him like, when I heard that, I was like, damn, he beat me, Shotty.
Yes.
I know you was like, ah. No, that's crazy.
Let's make it out of here.
Yes.
We still got to make it out.
Yes. But nah, man, I won't hold you, man. I know, man, get some rest, drink some tea. Once again, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for taking part in InvestFest. Thank you for making history with us. We're gonna continue to make more history, and man, we're gonna just keep going, bro.
Brother, I'll meet you tomorrow too,
brother.
Yo,
what's happening, man? We talking on Tuesdays again. What's up? Talk to me real quick before you go.
Man. Thank you, bro. Ian said he gonna pull up on me tomorrow, so we definitely bringing Trapper Tuesdays back. We coming back with a full 5-flash production. Oh. I'm serious about it. I felt like I let a part of me been missing for like a year, man. But I had to really understand what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it take a lot of work, yo. You know what I'm saying? Putting something together. So we definitely coming back with Trapping Tuesdays tomorrow at 7:30. We back in full effect. We live. We going crazy. Thank y'all for that. Shotty, Ian, Troy, Janet, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Love, bro.
Rest.
Always.
rest up, bro. Be easy. Appreciate you.
Peace.
Bless.
Yes, Wall Street Trapper. Shout out to him.
That's breaking news alert.
1 month at a time, right?
Yes. That's still a standard. 1 month at a time.
Like, if we up 20, why don't we just get up by 60 real quick? Like how Boston did LA that year?
You have to. Keep going.
Rhode Island, January.
Yes, that's the big announcement. The Rhode Island Civic Center.
Home of the Friars.
This is funny to you guys.
No. Shout out to the Friars. Shout out to all the Friars.
Shout out to Rhode Island, man. Shout out to Providence. Shout out to Just, my guy Just, man.
Oh yeah, I spoke to him. He's like, we got to get the guys Rhode Island. I'm like, I've been trying.
Absolutely. InvestFest, Rhode Island coming soon. Caller, let's get a couple more calls in before we wrap this thing.
All right. I don't know. That's funny. I still don't get the joke. Joseph, unmute yourself, please. We are coming to you. I hope he's ready.
Oh wow, it's been a while. Oh no, there you go. What's up, Joe?
Hey, evening to y'all. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Great. How are you?
Pretty good. I just wanted to say shout out to all the earners, shout out to all the trappers, shout out to all the pandas. Now, there's this book that I've been reading called Tribe of Mentors by Tim Ferriss.
Love it.
And there's this question that's been speaking to me a lot. So I figured I'd ask for anybody that's probably having the same thing. When you guys feel overwhelmed or unfocused, what is one thing you guys do to, I guess, center yourselves?
In terms of work or just life in general?
I guess both, because it kind of ties together.
Yeah. Well, I'll take the first thing work wise. Start with the big vision. So you don't have to tell me, but like, right, if God wouldn't tell you, what's the vision that you would create for yourself? Not the one that you tell that's safe, but the one that like lights you up, makes you excited. Like, I don't know if I can even do this. And then underneath that, like, write your list. Because a lot of times when we're overwhelmed, and it's because we haven't put every step in order. Like, even one thing I picked up from Troy recently, like, Troy not replying unless it's like mission 1. Nothing. Like, have supreme focus on that one thing. And then number 2, I know people hate what I said. Turn your phone off. The phone and social media is a digital orphanage for lost souls. This thing is robbing more productivity and happiness from people than we see. As far as life, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Some days life is gonna be tough, but when you have a routine or a system that you're following every day, it makes it easier for me. My 2 triggers is not enough sleep, not enough organization in terms of the day if I'm off, or I didn't like walk or exercise. Normally, if you knock those 3 things out, life goes a hell of a lot smoother for you. So those are my couple pieces of advice to help you.
Yeah, that's a lot. As far as overworked, I don't know if I've ever felt overworked. I don't know if I could.
That's wild to hear you say that.
Yeah, because it doesn't really feel like work, right? Like when you're walking in God's purpose, it's not work. It's what you're supposed to be doing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But anytime I feel like that, I mean, my family just grounds me every chance they get. Like, if y'all caught that moment during Tyler's interview, that's a real moment. Like my kids, they're super not impressed by dad. Like they understand who dad is, but it's like, dad, like, come on, man. Like, can we go get some like Skittles or something? Like, I need some Chick-fil-A. Like, I'm trying to. So like, they humble me, man. It's like they really only want to know if daddy's good. Like everything that's going on, they care about it, but to a certain extent. And my parents are the same way. If you met them this weekend, you know. And Danielle, I mean, obviously she makes sure that mentally I'm good. And having that partner to talk to about everything, that definitely helps. So yeah.
Yeah. I take walks. I like to get out and just walk, clear my mind.
You walk to SDK or?
Okay.
Yes, very important. Work off the cardio. Work off the carbs.
SDK, cut the check.
Please
cut a check.
Enough is enough.
Please.
I would be interested to see their revenue spike.
I know it's there. Yeah. You almost see another Smoothie King cup until they send these emails back.
They all the flights once again. Shout out to the mayor of Atlanta for coming to Invest Fest and speaking, but we got to have a conversation because there was no flights from New York to Atlanta on Saturday
or Friday.
Yeah.
How's this possible? Wait, well, Saturday it was even worse. Saturday you could not fly from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut.
But all the flights was sold out.
DC, Charlotte.
They didn't have enough flights for to
get to Atlanta.
We crashed the airports.
Delta play too much.
That's a fact. So
we need to have a conversation with them.
Mayor, we gotta have a conversation.
Yep.
We want to keep this in Atlanta, but
London.
Well, London, that's gonna happen for sure. But domestically, there might be a couple other cities.
Julia, let's talk. We got a couple of players
that can facilitate this type of crowd.
A draft. We should have a draft to see what city it should be in.
Ooh, like the Olympics.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Rotates.
We'll see what city wins the bid.
Yes. Put your best proposal together.
Maybe.
Can I ask that brother a question real quick? Who asked a question about tribal mentors? What is like the 2 biggest lessons that you've taken away from that book so far?
Sorry, I muted him. Hold on, I have to find him again. Sorry.
There he is. Joseph, there you go.
Appreciate the question. I'm still going through it, but the biggest thing that pokes out, that's been standing out to me is a lot of people find something, I guess, to help with being peaceful, like meditating. Like I guess Troy mentioned earlier about recentering yourself with your family. That's one thing that's been really sticking out to me.
Yeah, you need a zone of safety for sure every day to make you calm. And I mean, even at the energy and investors, like all the love everyone's showing and talking to the network, like we need more in-person time. Like all of a sudden, this phone has become our digital living room. Social media has become our classroom. We need more in-person time. But like everyone in chat, write down what is the one practice that you're going to do every day that brings peace to your life. You need it. Now, some of you in the front was lighting flowers. More power to you. But let's get some good ones in the comments before we wrap up tonight.
One more. Let's get one more question before we end this.
Before we put sleep on the itinerary.
Oh, it's no sleep.
No sleep is on the itinerary. Who we got, Jen?
We are going out tonight. We are headed to.
Oh my God, get some rest, yo. You want him to operate, right?
Yo, he really needs a videographer.
I got you, bro.
This dude is all over the place, bro.
Oh man.
He probably put up a banner somewhere. Wait, shout out to P too. Shout out to Pierre. I don't want to talk about Ab without saying P. Shout out to P, man. If y'all probably saw Ab with another dude that was just kind of just running around making sure everything was running smoothly. Shout out to Pierre. He from
but that's what that's what Jay
team.
said. I put my homies on, and homies put the homies on. Like, Abdullah, we put him in position. Now he's putting his crew in position. I told him, like, you gotta look out for your crew. How you see the same way you see us moving, that's how you're gonna be a leader.
Yeah.
Now you gotta be in position, and you gotta put your crew in position. And that is like each one teach one.
Yeah, that was Friday night. We said that to him. He had a whole videographer recording it, man. He shot the classics. He had a whole. I'm like, damn, bro.
Videographer.
Yeah, shout out to Ryan, boy. Ryan was getting my stuff done in 30 minutes and dropped.
Yo, Ian, can I?
In the
That
collaboration,
was incredible. I don't know
how did the edit was done while you were still on stage?
I have no. Bro,
Wow.
I'm like,
yo, he just walked out with the mask. What is this?
No clue. He was like, bro, it's gonna be. I'm like, bro, whatever you want here. Just
that was crazy.
amazing.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Shout out to all the videographers, man. It's a hard job, but a lot of people have good work. 13th and Create, Tukes Production. Shout out to Tukes. 19 Keys. His guys always on. Amici is the best I've ever seen when it comes to long form content.
Whoa.
His podcast looks
master
like a movie. It looks like a
wow.
movie. He got edits at the end. He got credits. The best I've never seen anything.
The Marvel Endgame additional footage
afterwards. Yeah, it's the best. High level conversation is the best produced show on YouTube. I'll just
even the commercials. I feel like I have perfect timing. Like drink cold water, goes right back.
High level conversations is extremely well produced.
They got something great over there.
Yeah.
All right, Anna, we are coming to you. Unmute yourself, please. Still there?
Oh, fridge break.
There it goes.
No, she unmuted herself. I just can't hear her.
Oh, there she goes. Anna, what's up?
Some audio issues going on.
While we're talking about Anna, shout out to Angie. I met Angie in person for the first time. EYL Angie.
She texted me the picture of you guys.
Yeah. We met in the airport. Shout out to Angie. Shout out to her sister. We took a nice picture together.
Yeah.
Another person that was has been incredible for EYLU. Shout out to Ken, my dog from Detroit, and King Arthur. I'm glad people got to meet King Arthur and sit at his court. Anytime he sits down and have a conversation, you are being enlightened. There's no other option. Obviously, Magda. Shout out to the whole team, and shout out to Chris, EYL Chris, man, EYLU Chris.
Yeah,
put on that stage, man. Shout out to him. He was in the party with us.
Shout out to Aristotle Investments.
Wow,
good guy.
Yeah.
Great talent.
And I owe you that drop too, so let's arrange that.
Great talent.
Good guy, man. All right.
On the show.
Well,
can I ask one final question to the audience? What was the biggest lesson you guys learned at InvestFest this weekend? Please put it in chat.
Please put yes in chat. Biggest lesson you learned at InvestFest this weekend.
Charge my phone for you.
You put on a show. Like I was telling Ty Pierre, Christy down backstage, like Not only does he interview well, and it's the power of being a comedian because they get tired. It's almost like rapping, like he's so on point, but how he will go high and go really low when he's telling his low stories and be funny and
super inspirational.
After you get the gems, watch it a bunch of times for how he performs the information. That's what really got me hyped. I'm like, I gotta go home and change some stuff. Like he dominated, like on an emotional level with gems, and he's sitting. So I went back and watched You So Crazy, Kings of Comedy. That's where I get the pacing from, back and forth. Steve, like, hands down. But I was telling Pete, I'm like, he gave the best performance, hands down, that weekend. Information, gems, tonality, pacing. There's a lot of things. And he does a thing that Budgetnista does too. Like, you'll ask him a question, and he'll just take over the whole interview. That's an art, man. Like, Steve put on a clinic on that stage. So
Ian, I'm gonna add something to this. I'm gonna add something to this right now. I'm gonna tell you about the integrity and the character of this man. At 9:15, myself and Rashad are walking through the airport. Who do you think calls us?
Now the crazy thing is, I got a random number. It was 917. It was a bunch of random, and it's like, I'm like, I saw Troy. I'm like, you know this number? Like,
come closer to the mic. We can't hear you.
So I was walking through. We was going through the airport this morning in Atlanta. And right before I was about to check into, the security check-in point, I got a random number that wasn't saved in my phone. So I asked Troy, I'm like, yo, who is this? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, straight to voicemail. So
my phone rang.
And then he texted me back. He texted me and he said, it's Steve H. I said, oh shit, Steve Harvey. Like, yeah.
Bro.
Because I never had his number. I didn't have his number. So I'm like,
I saw that.
That's crazy.
Then my phone rang 917. I said it's got to be him, and he was just pouring into me, man, pouring into us really, and just saying how proud of us he was. And the very next word was like, "We got what's next. Like we need to figure out what's next right now. Let's get on the call this week and figure out what's next." And so it just shows to speak about the level of professionalism, character, and the vision that he has, man. We had a nice moment on stage there with him and Tyler, and we kind of were huddled. And then I won't share what we were talking about, but it was like, this is life changing. This is gonna be life changing not for y'all, but for this entire community. So it was incredible. That was a moment. That was a moment for sure.
Shout out to Steve Harvey.
Yeah,
man. Great guy, man. Great guy.
Incredible, and all his children are incredible as well.
Shout out to Broderick.
Broderick's a
Steve Harvey. That is my guy, man. Him and Tabiti.
Dynamic duo, those two.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Funny, man. Shout out to Lori Harvey, who was in the building. Did you know Lori Harvey was there?
Yeah. Also, Chrissy saw Dom saw
but
I didn't see her.
Yeah. Janet, did you? I know you know Ian because I think you saw her. But Ian, Janet, did you see her? Did you know she was there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Lori Harvey. She was in the building. Shout out to Steve Harvey's wife, Marjorie Harvey.
Yeah, Marjorie dope as hell.
He was in the building. Her and my mom was speaking. Shout out Marjorie Harvey, the boss. The boss was in the building.
And shout out to Queen Naja. Also,
Queen Naja was with us
all weekend. Not only did she perform Friday night,
she ate dinner.
We went to dinner together. She came to the programming on Saturday and came back to the program on Sunday. Then stopped in for the VIP dinner last night. She was with us all weekend.
I didn't see her at all, besides the performance.
She was there all weekend.
She was with us all weekend.
Wow.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to Queen Naja.
Amazing talent.
Super humble, super down to earth person. Her and her husband, man, good people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know who else are good people?
Yeah.
Good folks at Ally.
Oh, you know who else was at?
Let me get this off.
Shout out to Ally. But who else? No, shout out to Ally. But they can
cook.
But it was a couple random sightings at InvestFest. But one of my favorite moments was we're interviewing Steve Harvey, and I look down, and who do I see? Lewell.
I didn't see him.
He was right there in the front.
I did not see him.
Where did he come from?
Yeah. I didn't see him.
I don't, just out of nowhere. He just magically appeared out of nowhere. I'm like, Lewell. Who knows?
That's crazy.
Shout out to Lewell. It was random sightings like that throughout the whole week. Like I randomly just saw T.I. at VIP night. I'm like,
yeah.
Tip, what's up?
I saw Safari in the back. I'm like,
Safari.
How'd you get back here?
Supposedly there was the star of Love and Hip Hop there.
Yeah,
Safari was like, "Don't you know these people?" I'm like, "I know," but
Safari was at the vendor booth. Safari had a vendor booth. His sister.
Yeah.
Safari was at the vendor booth. I'm like,
Crap.
he had like 10 chains on, and 3 bracelets and 3 earrings. But shout out to Safari, man, good dude. But yeah, random stuff like that was happening all weekend. I'm like, Safari has a vendor booth.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? But yeah, Lori Harvey. I'm just like, oh, Lori Harvey, right there. So it was a bunch of random happenings.
By the way, we have new student orientation on Thursday, run by me and Angie. So I hope to see all the new earners there.
See, thinking of Angie again. Shout out to her.
Yep.
And shout out to you, Jan.
All right.
And shout out to the good folks at Ally.
Shout out to Ally.
Yes. We've got a great choice for you if you're looking to bank or invest. Ally is a leading digital financial service company with passionate customer service and is relentlessly focused on doing it right for both customers and our communities. Ally is giving our Market Mondays viewers and listeners a special offer on ally.com/EYL so that you can save, invest, and spend on the things that matter most to you. Again, that's ally.com/EYL for everything we need. We're all better off with an Ally. Securities, products, and services are offered through Ally Invest Securities LLC, member of FINRA, FINRA/SIPC. Shout out to the good folks over there at Ally. Ian, you like that one?
That was your segues. When I brought out Trap,
legendary.
I modeled after your segues. I'm like, you killing.
Shout out to Ashley, the event planner. I don't know if you guys.
Shout out to Ashley. She's incredible. She is a powerhouse. I've seen her become she was always a boss, but the level of bossing up that she did this weekend, I was super proud of her. The way she's able to adjust and make changes on the fly was incredible. Obviously, we saw with the rain kind of dampened some things on Friday night, but we were able to adjust. Everybody still had a good time. Obviously, Saturday, Sunday, we made a few adjustments, and she was diligent about all that. Shout out to her. And it was her birthday on Friday. So shout out to Ash. She worked through her birthday, and she's incredible. Like I said, we love Black women. We hire Black women. We support Black women, and we're going to continue to do that. Shout out to her.
Yes, very important. And once again, if you was at InvestFest, you saw that Ian made a special offer on stage, and we're extending that for Market Mondays listeners, 24 hours. That was an InvestFest offer, but like I said, Market Mondays is all family. So what the offer includes is 5-year access to the Stock Club, 1-year access to Sniper, Red Panda Yacht Party VIP, Red Panda Yacht Party Weekend, the replay of his keynote, 2 hours of exclusive trading gems that he did not reveal on stage to dominate in a down or up market, how to trade without using a stop, private live session with Ian Dunlap and Red Panda members. Ian will call out where you should get in, review of live trades on Stock Club once a month with Ian, live trading session in person in November, 1 swing trade entry per month, and crystal ball working for entry, including any market, including stocks, swing trades, crypto, and commodities. Website for that is ianinvest.com. It is pinned on the YouTube, and it is also in the description. Like I said, that'll run for 24 hours, and the website is Ian. Is that correct? Is it? I just want to make sure.
Ian Invest?
Ian Invest, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah.
Ian. Go ahead.
Yeah. www.ianinvest.com. Yep.
And if I made you money, please put yes in chat. So the people who may be new, who may be watching from the show can see that this is the real thing. I know you guys felt it from the stage. And I'm gonna be real. I've never in history heard anybody ask that question that many times and get that many yeses. So thanks to you who've been executing, who've been dominating. Rebellion has begun. Come join us. London, 1,000 deep. The rebellion is gonna be different. I cannot wait. 1 month at a time. But
we might be doing a few things in this month. Multiple. Actually, we'll be dropping bombs every week this month. But today, the bomb that has been dropped is InvestFest Europe, London, October 31st. Go to investfesteuro.com. Go to our website, hit the InvestFest Euro tab, legendary vibes. Everybody in London, everybody in Europe, everybody in Africa, everybody in America.
Yeah.
Come. It's a great.
I froze when I saw the brat. Like,
being from the
Midwest.
The brat was there, right?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, like I was,
she sat
I'm
right
from the
behind my
Midwest,
mom.
so like
that's another random.
Was Brett the first woman to go platinum?
First first solo
rapper?
rap artist to go platinum.
That's another random.
Yeah, she was with Judy.
Judy who? Judge Judy?
Nah, Big Booty Judy. That's like a partner.
Judge Judy. Hey, that would be a vibe.
Judge Judy.
That would have been legendary. That would have been very. That would have been very
different.
legendary. Very legendary.
There's only one judge, Judge Steve Harvey, man.
That would have been very legendary. Very, very legendary. Very legendary.
Well, folks, we're gonna stop with that one.
Stock Club call tomorrow at 9:30. Please tune in. Tune into the episode tomorrow. We're gonna call it the Petflix episode. Please go trademark that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow, 8:00 EYL. We back with a new episode. Ironically enough, live from London. We filmed that episode when we was in London. Ahmad, he's actually from London, so it's perfect timing actually. That episode, he's an entrepreneur from London, created the Netflix for dogs. Legendary situation, made millions of dollars by creating content for dogs. Anything is possible. There's no excuses in this world. If he can do that, then anything is possible. It's a great story about how to start, transformational business, new age marketing, how to be your own competition. That was one of the biggest gems that I got from that episode. So dope episode, London edition tomorrow. The whole UK massive. Shout out to y'all. And love is love.
Wednesday we have Miss Business.
Miss Business.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to Miss Business. Yeah, one of the dopest activations in the marketplace. Very, very legendary situation.
Yeah.
And she was on the panel.
And she had an incredible booth.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to my brother Ben. Before we go, I just want to make. I didn't even get to see him. He was holding down the merge booth. Shout out to him and Smitty and the whole team. I know we had a bunch of our young people working there. And Sean too. Shout out to the earners that helped us. Yeah, shout out to all of them, man. That was incredible. I didn't even see him. So shout out to you. Love is love, man. We will see y'all tomorrow. 8:00. Lock in.
World tour. Coming soon. Coming to a content near you very soon.
With the mask.
Yes.
Rebellion has begun. If you got your mask, post them on social.
Halloween
movie with it. Halloween. I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be 1,000 of walking the streets of London. Shout out to everybody came on the South and was protecting us. Like, listen, movie. I don't have no issue. 1,000 of us deep. It's gonna look like Purge night for real. ATVs, all that. Call the embassy. I need a bunch of passes on a bunch of stuff.
Just when you thought it